Hey guys, it's Laura. So you're going to notice some differences in my videos starting in 2025, and I'm going to put this little blurb at the front of several of my videos because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I definitely pre-record some of my videos and I schedule them out just because I need to be able to do that to manage my work and school and life balance. So I have several videos that are scheduled out for January of 2025 that have my old intro and my old channel name, and I've updated that as of January 1st. So kind of exciting. And I just wanted to kind of give a little explanation, I guess, before each of those videos and just let you know why you might hear me refer to Laura B. Flosstube and why you may just see just some differences moving forward, especially when the videos later in January and then February and then further on start posting. So anyway, that is what I want to share with you. Welcome to Laura's Handmade Haven. I am so glad that you've joined me. I am still the same girl. I'm still the same crafter and creator. I've just kind of expanded what I do with my channel since I originally named it, and I just wanted my channel name to reflect that. And it definitely, I feel like it definitely opens up opportunities for me to bring in different types of content as we move forward. And I hope you're as excited about that as I am, because I am looking forward to sharing all kinds of crafty goodness with you. So without further ado, let's get started on today's video. Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura B. Flosstube. Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me today. We are wrapping up our Let's Make a Snowman quilt sew along. Today we're going to be putting on all of those borders. We have 5 borders to put on before we can call this quilt top good. So we have a lot of cutting and measuring and sewing to do. I've actually sewn all of my border strips together and I've cut them all to length. If you want some tips on how I do that, please refer back to the Bloom quilt sew along. I have one video that's just totally devoted to cutting those borders and getting them the right length in a small space, so make sure you check that out. Now, so today, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this quilt top center, head to the sewing machine, and grab my first border. Now, I am not going to be putting a lot of pins in these borders, but I am going to be putting a few just because this is quite a little distance, and I want to make sure that border is evenly dispersed along the sides and tops and bottom of my quilt. Now, with this quilt pattern, you do put on those side borders first, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pin at the beginning and the end of the side, so both top and bottom of the side, and then I'm going to kind of like stretch that little quilt top a little bit and find a couple more spots along the way to pin on the side, so I know that this will be evenly dispersed down the side of my quilt top center. So you can see here that I'm just stretching it just a smidge, grabbing a pin and sticking it in. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, and then we are going to head to the sewing machine. Now, yes, I do pin both side borders on before I go to the sewing machine. I'll do the same thing with the top and bottom, and I like doing that just because it kind of speeds up a little bit of the process for me. I mean, obviously, you're still pinning the same amount, but you don't have to start and stop quite as often. Just make sure you have your pins really good and secure in the fabric, and that way you really won't have any problems getting those borders on. Once again, I'm just going to kind of take this and just stretch it a little bit. Just pull it out just like that. And then I'm going to just put a few more pins along this side. All right, now we're going to head to the sewing machine, sew the side borders on, and then we'll come back and do the same thing for the top and bottom border. You may have noticed on the cart behind me, I have all my borders laid out. I do have them stacked, so I know that top and bottom are on one side, sides are on the other. So I do have those kind of stacked together, and they're just hanging out waiting for me to get to them. Now, I'm not going to do a back stitch or anything on this border. Make sure you have a full bobbin before you start this venture. Oh my goodness. There's been a few times where I forgot to check that and then I'm halfway through a border and went, oh no. It happens. Now you may notice how I'm kind of adjusting and bunching up this quilt top onto the side of my machine here on the table. That's just to kind of keep a little bit of the weight off of the needle and to just kind of keep moving on through. Now as this quilt top grows, it's going to be a little tricky. It's going to get trickier and trickier to get all of that quilt top moving onto the machine, but we will take it as it comes. You may also notice that I'm kind of leaning back a little bit in my chair. That's just because I'm going to that next pin and pinching where that's at, just so I can make sure that all this loose fabric in between there and the pin is evenly dispersed. Alright, so now we're going to pin the top and bottom border on and do the exact same thing. I'm not going to show putting all those borders on. I will probably show the first two borders and then I will show part of the final border, and then we'll have a reveal today, because I feel like if you know how to do one border, then you will be able to do all of them. There's nothing too complicated about adding your borders. Now feel free to put as many or as few pins in here as you want. I have honestly put borders on without any pins before. You can do it. You are kind of taking a risk because you could get to the other side and not have enough or have too much. And the problem that comes in with that is if that happens, either way, your quilt top is most likely going to be out of square, and that is a problem. Well, I mean, you know, I say it's a problem. It's not the end of the world if your quilt top isn't square. I think it's going to still sleep the same, but it won't be as pretty. So I want to know, you guys, that if you're making the applique quilts like these, do you sleep under them? Do you just hang them? What do you do with them? I have kind of a combination, I guess. I made a really large applique quilt for my brother and sister-in-law, and they do have it on their bed and they use it all the time, which was the intent. Most of the applique quilts that I've made have not been big enough for my bed. I really don't have any plans of making one that big for my bed either, honestly. That's like a one and done. My brother got the only one like that. Alright, the next border after this is that pieced block border. So I'm going to grab a couple of those. I'll grab the side borders off my design wall and pin it onto the quilt top. Now, if it matters to you, make sure you're paying attention to which block should be on the top of the quilt and which strip should be on the side of the quilt that you're working on. Now, the top border, the little sashing, and the first border will nest, so that's one point where you can nest your seams and make sure that those line up correctly. And then at the other end of the quilt top, you're going to do the exact same thing. The bottom border and that sashing will nest. So again, you can just stick a pin right there in that junction of the seam. And then you'll be able to stretch and disperse these blocks along the side of your quilt. Now you can already see this is starting to get bigger than it was, because that makes sense, right? We're adding We're adding fabric and size with each border that we're putting on. So the longer we go along with this, the more fabric you're going to have to work with. And this is actually, I think these blocks are 12 inches. So this is going to be an additional 24 inches on the width and length of your quilt top. So you might want to stick a few extra pins in just because you're getting more fabric. Now I know some of these blocks for the border I did strategically put them together with the directional fabric going a certain way. So I do want to make sure that my blocks are oriented the way that I planned on with the design wall. I'm not going to say that all my blocks are in the exact same order as the original design. I think there's a couple of them that I got flipped around, but it'll be all right. All right, we're gonna head back to the sewing machine and put these on. Do the same thing for the top and bottom, and then I'm gonna let you take a break while I get the rest of my borders on. Now on these piece borders, what I'm doing is I do have my pieced border on the top so I can see where all of the seams are at. And because I want to make sure that all those seams are still going to be laying the correct way, so when I press this when I press this quilt top out, it will be nice and flat. I don't want any twisted seams on these piece blocks. Now I'll have to do the same thing for the next border that I put on, and for that to happen, I will have to put the straight border on the bottom and the piece block still on top like it is now. Just something to think about when you are putting on a pieced border. You want to make sure that you keep all your seams laying the way that they should be so that nothing gets twisted and it doesn't get bumpy for your finished quilt. I'll be the first to admit that I am not the best presser. I sometimes get in a hurry and I don't take my time with pressing. So I try to, I guess, make up for that when I'm doing my piecing. Alright, so that's really all I have to share about the pieced border for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue putting my borders on, and I will catch you at the reveal. Oh me, oh my. You know you've put on a bunch of borders when you are covered in strings. Took me a few minutes there to get all those strings off of me. But here we have it. Here's our Let's Make a Snowman. The design is by Lori Holt. Fabrics are Riley Blake. I absolutely love this quilt. This was a kit that I got from Fat Quarter Shop, and it is using the Hometown Holiday Collection by Riley Blake, designed by Lori Holt. And like I said, this is such a fun, oh, do we have a little, oh. I'm like, what is wrong with my quilt? Something's wrong. Go on, kitty cat. All right. Never a dull moment. All right, so anyway, don't go back. Here's the culprit. All right, so here's our little culprit. This is Fast Eddie. He is fast. You put a quilt up and he is on it, on it, on it, on it. Anyway. This has been such a fun sew along. I hope you picked up some tips and tricks along the way. I have one final tip to share with you on this absolute outer border. I like to do a little back stitch at the beginning and end of my rows on those, just so when you put it on the long arm, you don't have to worry about that seam giving any, and depending on how much tension is on the machine against that quilt top.
So you might want to try that if you've ever had problems with your seams coming loose on those outer borders. Other than that, this is a wrap, guys. We have made it. We have done the quilt. It is together. It's ready to be quilted and bound and finished and displayed as you see fit. So I hope that you've had some fun doing this sew along with me. I hope you picked up tips and tricks along the way. Until next time, I hope you're finding joy in all you do. Carve out some time for crafting and creating, and make sure it's always happy stitching. What do you think, Ed?